Hello, and welcome to this Greenbuild Fast Chat with Lafarge Holcim. I'm Sharada Sessa, Brand Director for Greenbuild, and joining me today is Jay Moreau, the Chief Executive Officer for U.S. Aggregates and Construction Materials at Lafarge Holcim. Jay, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, Sharada. It's exciting for us to be here for the first time, being part of Greenbuild, and we appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and the audience at Greenbuild.
Now, Jay, you've been involved in the concrete business for 30 years, and today you're leading one of the largest aggregates and concrete operations in the United States. I'm sure with that kind of responsibility comes challenges and unrivaled opportunities. And one thing that presents both challenges and opportunities is sustainability. What role do you believe concrete plays in sustainable construction?
Well, I think there's really a key role there, and the fact is we need to put it into context because, concrete and cement is something that's a part of our everyday life, but for the most part, we take it for granted. We don't think about it when we walk down the sidewalk. We're not thinking about it when we're driving our car down the road or the buildings that our offices and our homes. They're built out of concrete. It's a key component of our infrastructure. But herein lies the problem. By mid-century, there'll be 10 billion people in the world, which means that there's 2 trillion square feet of buildings that need to be built. And those people want to live in urban areas. So you got the urbanization as well as the population growth. That means we're going to have a challenge in front of us to encourage the built environment to take a sustainable approach to how we do that. And from our perspective at Lafarge Holcim, we want to be a part of that solution. We want to offer those products that can encourage sustainable growth and can be part of the story of how we establish concrete and cement as part of the solution for a lower CO2 component to our construction.
Absolutely. Let's talk more about that transformation. What are some steps that Lafarge Holcim is taking to transform what is traditionally a slow to change industry?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Our industry it does tend to change very slowly. And like I said, we're very proud of where Lafarge Holcim is and trying to lead that change. When I think about it, I put it in the context of, we just finished watching the Olympics, and I think sports analogies are great. What we saw are these athletes performing at the top of their game and at phenomenal results. But what we didn't see is the days, the weeks, and months of preparation, the sacrifices that those people took on a daily basis to make themselves better. And in our business, we like to say, well, we take a little ground every day. Well, that's what all those athletes did. That's what they accomplished because they took that approach and said, what are the small things that I need to do to lead to greatness? And I think that's where we are on the sustainability story as it relates to construction in the built environment. We have to make the decisions today that are going to lead us to a much broader success in the future. And so our organization is taking those steps, and I'm very proud of where we are. We rolled out last year EcoPact, which is the broadest approach to sustainable concrete products with a much lower CO2 factor as it relates to standard concrete. We also, in our line of EnviroCore cements, they're blended cements that have lower clinker factors, which means we can deliver a lower CO2 product. One of the things I'm incredibly proud of is our OneCem product, which we've rolled out across most of our concrete businesses. In fact, all of our concrete in Texas is delivered with OneCem, which means we're delivering every yard of concrete with a lower CO2 footprint as compared to standard concrete.
Thank you for that analogy, and what a great way to put it. Congratulations also on introducing EcoPack and OneCem cement. Manufacturers like Lafarge Holcim will play an important role in helping owners, architects, and engineers with the challenge of reducing embodied carbon in construction. So thank you for taking a leading position on this issue. In your opinion, what are some other factors that the industry needs in order to drive rapid adoption of solutions that address embodied carbon?
Well, I think there's really 3 things we can focus in on. First of all is being completely transparent. And the best way to do that is through environmental product declarations. So EPDs establish the baseline, and we need to be transparent with those. And I'm proud that our operators have taken the step to establish EPDs for all of our operations across our entire footprint and across all of our lines of business. The second is legislation. And I think the important role of legislation in establishing the correct marketplace that focuses on sustainable solutions and rewards those that take the steps, those small steps now that lead to greater success in the future. We need to recognize that. We need to reward it from a legislative standpoint. And finally, we have to have true solutions. And that's where I think our organization shines. In developing our green solutions, not only do we have the EPDs, but we're measuring ourselves against true results. And at the end of the day, we have to have truly performing mixes, performing cement, performing solutions that provide true results against where we measure ourselves. And if we can establish that, then we'll be able to look back and say we've really taken significant ground and moved the needle on sustainable construction.
Jay, this has been such an informative conversation. Thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap?
Well, I'd like to conclude by saying that we at Lafarge Holcim we are a solution provider. So when you think about the context of a sustainable construction process and sustainable products, we want to be in, and we're in the leadership position as it relates to creating transparency. And the first thing that we have to do is be transparent about what our offerings are. And the best way to do that is through environmental product declarations, or EPDs. And we have established those for all of our facilities. And it's important that we be right up front, transparent. And then we can start to take those small steps that lead to continuous improvement and a phenomenal result when we look back several years from now and say we've really accomplished something. So we're proud to be part of that story. We're proud to be doing our part in providing those solutions. And I think that the opportunity to ramp up the attention to sustainable construction is now. And we need to be part of that solution going forward. And we're very excited to be in the position.
Thank you for leading the way, Jay. And thank you once again for being with us and to everyone who tuned in. We've been talking to Jay Moreau from Lafarge Holcim, and I'm Sherrod Assessa with Greenbuild. We'll see you next time.